we create brand tracks for people. It's like the DNA of their sonic branding. And from that, we will pull out different touch points. Well, there might be a 2-second bit we pull out and that becomes the sonic logo, or we might 2-second bit, 1-second bit that becomes an app sound, right? If that brand track didn't suit a certain TV campaign that was going to happen, we would be employed for our services to create a variation of it that still had the recognizable elements, but there was a different energy. Maybe it needed to be slower because it was more emotional. Maybe it needed to be quicker because it was a big summer deal that was happening, as an example. 2 very different use cases. The execution of that will depend on whether or not you recognize them as the same brand. So that's something hard to quantify. You just got to trust your creatives and creators. The danger of it is, will we be recognized with the other one? So if people get to know the sad, slower one, which is the main brand track, when it comes to summer and they hear it, let's say on the radio, will people be like, is that them or isn't that them? In which case you then actually have lost the brand recognition aspect. So I think it's a really fine line. And I think on paper, I'm up for it. I'd be very cautious of it, but I do think it can work, such as the McDonald's, for example. If they did something different, and to your example of like Netflix, their Da-Dum, a lot of that we hear for the sound design. But if I just went, would you think Netflix without the context? Without the context, I can hear the current Netflix sound, the da-dum, and I will recognize it. So I think that's...
But I think as well, therein lies, I suppose, a very important sort of factor in how you're using it. Because I think anything that's sound only, I think that has a lot more validity to it. And I will consider entertaining your point for the sake of this podcast. But I think when it's visuals, then you have a lot more room to breathe and a lot more awareness. Like, for instance, if you were watching an ad for Netflix, they don't really do ads per se with people talking about it. But let's say somebody was saying like, hey, we should watch something tonight. Do you want to watch something on TV? Yeah. What do you feel like watching? I don't know. Can you just open up and find like what's on right now? Be like, what do you mean? Be like, type thing. And then it came up and it had a Netflix thing. I think then you'd be like, and then at the end, obviously, it would probably go da-dum and come up and you'd be like, oh, great. That's like an interesting rework of the rhythm of it.